The purpose is still important for making a canoe. It carries more than just the body in the canoe. It carries a lot of our history, our culture.
In summer 1963, on the Green River, which is a river south of Seattle, there's a 10-year-old kid who lived on a dairy farm near the river, and he one day found the bow of a canoe sticking out of the muddy banks of the Green River. And he started digging it out by hand. Eventually, other folks on the river noticed the canoe, and they called the Burke Museum. The curator at the time sent down 3 of his archaeology students to dig the rest of the canoe out of the river and bring it back to the Burke Museum. So this canoe then sat in the collections of the Burke for many, many years. And when I started working in the year 2000, I noticed this canoe in our storage and eventually talked to my friend Warren KingGeorge, who is a Muckleshoot tribal member and also works for the tribe as the tribal historian. And of course, he knew all about this canoe.
And s.dəxwi was an instrument, was part of a toolkit that was utilized to feed the people. So s.dəxwi is one of those really valuable tools that a hunter has in their toolkit and has access to. So you can see that it looks small. It's designed for 1 to 2 people. So when you're hunting, when you're gathering, you want a big hole. You want to run the hole as much as fish or as duck as you need. You can see that the artist, the carver, still see their handiwork. Handiwork still exists on the surface. You can see that to great detail. It still represents that chapter in our history when the resources were rich and bountiful, and that a man and a woman could easily feed their family with something like this. Beautiful example of a s.dəxwi.
We talked and decided together to see if we could learn a little bit more. So that involved just documenting, taking pictures and measurements of the canoe. We did a 3D scan. We got some radiocarbon dates to try to figure out the age of the canoe and what materials it was made of. After learning all this, we really wanted to carve a replica. And he brought in to the project George Swanisett Sr. How many canoes do you think you've made now?
Oh, close to 70. Yeah, about close to 70. And that length is 24 feet?
26.2.
26.2. Yeah, this I made it. This here, that is just fantastic.
We got a donation of a log, a cedar log, from the city of Seattle. There's something about carving a replica of any object or boat where you actually learn something from that making experience itself that you don't learn from just looking. When you have to put your tools to the wood and learn how to get this shape out of a log, you study things in a very different way. The canoe really teaches you something through the making process.
It started out to be a job at first, then it came out to be fun. Then it got to be where I was anxious for the next cut. Actually pretty easy once I got going on it. I learned how important it is to have the gunnel strip nice and true and straight. Everything else chimes right in with it. 16 inches, 17, 15, 16, 14, 14, 10.
Not everybody gets to be a carver, to touch a log, to look at a log and realize what this log is going to do, what it's going to be, how it's going to help the people. You really have to be something special to possess those skills.
It was a learning experience for all of us. When I got in it, I sat in it and I was waiting for there was nothing. There was absolutely nothing. It was just sat there. And it felt comfortable. It felt like I'm secure. The first stroke just moved right along. When I wanted to turn, I just moved my paddle like I always do, and she just come right around. Straightened right out, went around like that. The old style canoes, there's not much we can improve on. The old people, they had thousands of years to perfect what they have. And us newcomers come along and we think we can improve on it, but we end up going right back. I can't wait to do the next one.